There's a study going around right now saying you should eat less protein to live longer. I'm going to share the real deal on this. Even my husband screenshotted this headline and sent it to me, mostly because he knows these kinds of headlines drive me nuts. But since this one went viral, the way clickbait does, I had to address it. Hey, I'm Amy Lawson, a registered dietitian, and I am all about sharing the facts around food and nutrition with some delicious recipes too. So today, we are going over what this review actually says and what the headlines left out, what the real long-term evidence shows. And this video is part of my Research Bite series where I cook the food we are talking about. So today I'm going to make my Greek yogurt ranch dip with some veggies while we get into this. Scientists at the University of Wisconsin pulled together decades of past research and built a case that eating less protein might help you live longer. And that's a genuinely interesting finding worth exploring. But then it got turned into headlines that leave out one huge detail. Almost all of the evidence comes from animals, not people, not humans. So for starters, here's some important context. This wasn't a new experiment on people. Firstly, it's a review. The scientists gathered existing research, organized it into one big idea, and that's a completely legitimate, useful kind of science, but that doesn't mean it's proven in people. This is a hypothesis built on strong animal data, not a tested finding in humans. While I stir, I'm going to tell you what the studies actually showed. In mice, rats, and flies, eating less protein really did extend their lifespan, in some studies by 20 to 30% or more. That part is genuinely well supported. They also found that certain building blocks of proteins, specific amino acids, not necessarily protein as a whole, seem to matter most. And there's a hormone released when protein drops that seems to drive a lot of that benefit. But here's what almost never makes the headline. No study has actually ever tested whether eating less protein makes people live longer. That test has only been run in mice. The human trials in this review max out at a matter of weeks, and they only measure things like weight and blood sugar, not lifespan. And when scientists have looked at real long-term human data on protein and mortality, it mostly points the other way. A massive analysis of over 700,000 people found that eating more protein was linked to a lower risk of death, not higher, especially for plant protein. Another study following over 400,000 adults for years found no link at all between animal protein and death risk once you account for other factors. And there's one more thing worth knowing. In one of the exact studies this review points to, male mice that ate less protein lived almost 35% longer. Female mice in that same study, their lifespan actually went down 22%. Most of the headline-grabbing animal results here come from male animals, a detail that certainly did not make the headlines. And we have to talk about the conflicts here. The senior scientist behind this review also has a financial tie as an advisory board committee member to a pharmaceutical company developing drugs that target the exact same nutrient sensing pathway this whole review is about. Now, that doesn't make the science wrong, it just makes it worth knowing when you decide how much weight to give the conclusion. So for all of my lovely viewers, this is not a reason to cut back on protein for longevity at all. The bigger, stronger human studies point the exact opposite way toward making sure you get enough protein, especially for muscle strength, weight management, and overall health. So instead of obsessing over cutting protein based on mouse data, let's talk about a snack that actually checks boxes we do have for human evidence. This is my Greek yogurt ranch dip. Greek yogurt gives you protein and probiotics for your gut health. Pair it with some delicious veggies for dipping, and you get fiber too. Protein, probiotics, fiber, all in one snack. No mouse study included. And for the full recipe of this dip, plus more like it, that's all on my recipe page on my website. Link's gonna be down in the description. So here's the big takeaway. Headlines get clicks. And this one is prime clickbait, and it drives me absolutely nuts. The truth is, all the boring stuff still wins. Eat enough protein to support your muscle, load up on plants and fiber, lift something heavy, and move your body. No mouse diet required. And the next time a headline tells you to do the opposite of what every major human study shows, maybe don't take advice from a lab mouse. And if you want someone who actually reads the study before telling you what it means instead of just repeating the headlines, that's exactly what I do here every week. So hit subscribe so you won't miss it. A viral headline is not the same thing as proven science, and closing that gap is exactly what I'm here for. So go watch my video on why protein and fiber are the key to balanced nutrition. Click the video on your screen right now, and I will see you over there. Until then, eat well, be well, thrive.